Every family has its secrets. Locked away behind our front doors are the hidden pasts, the buried scandals, and the life-changing decisions that have shaped our families and our nation.
Dad was a rabid anti-Semite. And I suspect he was helping the Nazis.
So your father was under surveillance in 1959. The spying story doesn't end with the FBI.
Jesus.
The big question, who is my father and how do I find him?
I just desperately want to know why she ended up in Fremantle jail.
Every Family Has a Secret uncovers the extraordinary stories behind our everyday lives. This time, 2 Australians question everything they know about their fathers.
Everyone deserves to know their story and to know the truth of their story.
Acclaimed actor David Field seeks the truth behind a deathbed confession. Who was his real father?
You're saying that that's confirmation, that's family.
And Perth woman Angela Hamilton follows the trail of her father through wartime Europe to unearth the shocking secret he took to his grave.
The torture is repeated twice more. It's horrible, isn't it?
This is the landing spot where many thousands of migrants came to settle in Australia after World War II. One of them was an Hungarian refugee named Pal Roji. I'm meeting his daughter, Angela Hamilton, because after her father's death, she discovered some disturbing evidence that seemed to suggest that he was hiding secrets. Angela, hello.
Nani,
Nice to meet you.
Lovely to meet you.
This place is probably a bit different now to when your father first set foot in Australia. I imagine that most of the refugees were delighted to leave behind the ravaged Europe, but you never felt that your father quite fitted that picture.
He never seemed to embrace Australia or praise Australia. I think with Dad it seemed that he was fleeing something. There was quite a curious occupation that he might have had during the war.
And now you really want to get the answers about what it was he did.
It would be great to have the full story.
Not only good news, but possibly bad news. Are you prepared for that? Shall we go and start?
Here we go.
Let's go.
Come in, Nani.
Thank you. Ooh, lots of stuff.
Lots of stuff, lots of
gee.
intrigue in there. Now, I'll show you a picture here. That's my father, probably in his 30s.
He looks like a movie star.
Oh, well, I think he thought he was a movie star. To other people, he was just the most amazing charmer. But we grew up just experiencing this brutal, cruel man, explosive and unpredictable. You're just on guard every second of every minute of every hour. This is supposed to represent some sort of a happy family.
Yeah.
Well, this is a very staged photo. Do you see how I've got to look that way? My sister's got to look that way.
No one looks relaxed.
No, we don't do it.
Particularly your mother.
She was tiny, like a little bird. And I can remember Dad had beaten up Mum rather badly. He was kicking her around on the floor. That night when we all went to bed, I said, that's it, I hate him. I'm never going to forgive him. I know I'm his daughter and he's my father and I have to be obedient, but I hate him. And I had as little as I could do with my father that I could get away with.
So he didn't mellow in any way, shape or form as he got older?
No, he didn't. What did emerge as we were growing and becoming more aware was that Dad was a rabid anti-Semite. We might all be watching TV in the lounge. A man might be interviewed, Jewish, and Dad catapults out of his chair and is at the front of the TV going, Jido, Jido, it is a vermin, it is a vermin, meaning Jew, you're vermin. And we wouldn't say anything because you didn't know what that was going to ignite or not going to ignite. Lo and behold, when I'm going through his papers years later, what do I find? He was married to a Jew. She died in 1943, aged 29, of a weak heart. In Hungary at the time, there were laws. You're not allowed to be married to a Jew. You weren't allowed to have sexual relations with a Jew. So Rozsi's death was so critical to his survival and safety because of this office that he held. And then we find this Dr. Rozsi Pál, which is how he is known.
He's got a uniform.
I suspect he was a collaborator, sympathiser, that he was helping the Nazis. We all knew Dad to be a cruel and violent man. What made him like that? When did he become like that?
It takes immense courage, Angela, to want to confront this.
It's taken me all this time to actually face it. You can't deny it.
No.
Just got to meet it.
Did Pál Rozsi flee Hungary in a bid to bury a dark past? Angela has never felt an attachment to her father's homeland, but she knows that's where the answers lie. For the first time, she's headed to his birthplace, Sighetu Mamațai, in the northern Transylvanian region of what is now Romania.
I've come here looking for what made my father the man that we knew him to be. A brutal father and husband.
The family's hometown, like Pál himself, has an explosive history. In 1914, when Pál Rozsi was born, it was part of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. But after World War I, it was handed to Romania. Pál, a proud Hungarian, grew up in a town that was now under Romanian rule. Despite this, he enjoyed a life of privilege, an adored only child, becoming a lawyer like his father before him.
Got some letters that have his family home address. And I'm hoping to find the place that my dad lived in when he was going to school as a young boy. I think I found it. This is number 1, Andre Murasanstrasse. It's so amazing to find it. This is where he was a young, innocent boy. Oh my goodness. Oh wow. I think my dad would nod his head and you'd say, "This was my home. Now you understand a little bit more about me."
Angela has photos of her father's Jewish wife, Rosa Grun, taken here in her grandparents' home in 1939.
And there's a corner, and there's Rozsi, Dad's first wife, and Bela, my grandfather. Rozsi stood here with her arm around him. Rozsi and Bela look close. There's a fondness between them. It was a real surprise to find that Dad's first wife was Jewish. It raised so many questions because all my life I've known my father to be a rabid anti-Semite. And these photos were actually sent to my father in prison. Rozsi is living with my grandparents while Dad is in jail.
Pal Rozsi's jailing in 1939 came as political passions in Hungary were boiling. Nationalists like Pal saw themselves as freedom fighters, keen to reclaim lands they'd lost to Romania.
We sort of knew that Dad had been to prison, but we never really got the why. And because of our relationship and his demeanour, you sort of didn't question, you just listened.
History researcher Scott Alsop has found that the most notorious prison in all of Romania
I've got goosebumps all over me.
loomed large in Pal Rozsi's life.
This is the prison where your father was held.
Oh my goodness.
On the New South Wales south coast, another Australian is searching for the truth about his father. Actor and director David Field.
All the merchants stole the sea from the sailors while they was drunk on rum and spice.
David has appeared in dozens of Australian films and television series, most recently The Secret Daughter, which centres on the search for a true father, a storyline which mirrors David's own life. I've known David for many years. We worked on the television drama City Homicide together, but I knew nothing about his astonishing family secret. When David was 25 years old, his world was rocked by a deathbed confession that brought his whole identity into question. Hello. Hello. How are you?
My favourite actress.
Oh, it's been a while.
You're the best.
Come in.
Thank you. Oh, this is great.
Come on, dog. This way. Sit down, madame.
Thank you. Here. Well, David, I know very well that you're a loving father and you've created a beautiful family for yourself.
Thanks, no.
What sort of upbringing did you have?
It wasn't a warm, lovey, touchy-feely type of family, you know what I mean? It was sort of tough country people, you know, working class, housing commission. For example, the dinner table was quiet. Dad was a tough man, very much that 40s, 50s male that sort of ran the show.
Yeah.
My mum was very sort of gregarious, funny and very outgoing. And,
Yeah.
but I think there was it was tough for them in their marriage, I'd say. I wrote a song recently where I said Daddy was silent, violent, and Mama had a whiplash tongue.
So you say he was silent, violent. Was he actually physically violent with you kids?
He was what I'd call a slow punisher. So he'd send you to the bathroom and say, I'll be back in 15 minutes, and you think about how many stripes you want, whether you want to be a corporal or a captain. Quite frightening.
Were you in touch with your father's family at all?
My grandma and granddad lived down the road. In '86, Jack died, my father's father. And it would have been maybe 4 or 5 years after that, maybe, that my sister Alison sat me down and said, look, I've got to tell you something. When Pop died, he, on his deathbed, said to me that one of your kids is not your father's, and that it was me.
Wow. So what was your response to that?
Well, I fronted my mum, and I had this great conversation with her in the car, and it was very nerve-wracking, as you can understand. Mum said, yeah, that she had an affair with a fella, and told me his name. And
Told you his name?
Yeah, I knew him. His son was one of my friends at school.
Wow.
We both had this really cheeky sense of humour. He was a really cheeky kid, naughty kid.
Are you still in contact with him?
No, I haven't seen him for 40 years. Mum and I sat in the car and talked about it, and Mum said, I'm 99% sure that, you know, you're your dad's. And my response was, yeah, but it's the 1% that gets in, Mum.
Yeah, 99 is not 100. Yeah. Why did you let it lie?
I didn't really want to cause trouble, but inside, of course, there is this quiet yearning. I wish I knew.
Well, I think you do deserve to know if your father was your father.
Yeah, I
think that's too much.
I think deep down, so do I, you know. Yeah.
Until recently, there was no easy way of proving paternity. But the advance of science means David can now find out who his real father is. Right, step one.
The DNA test. Well, it's good because my brothers agreed to do one with me, so that's really good.
That's good. You need something to compare it to.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I've got to spit, a lot of spit. It's going to take a long time.
It's all right, I've got all day.
I'm there.
Okay. Do you have a feeling that it's a momentous thing that you're doing?
Without a doubt, because it's well, it's life-changing in that if there is something in it, then I'll be relieved just to know that sense of truth, you know.
It's not a little plastic thing of spit, it's a can of worms, isn't it,
Well,
potentially?
exactly. Maybe it is, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I think now's the time.
Yeah.
So, here we go.
So who is David Field's father? The man who raised him, or the man his mum named as Mr. 1%? 350 kilometres inland lies the town of Parkes and David's childhood home, which he shared with his 3 siblings, his mum, and the man he assumed was his dad.
The most damaging thing in holding secrets is for the secret holder. I think if my mum was carrying that secret for 20, 30, 50 years, how terrifying that would be for her in that time. I left here when I was 14. The town is very small to me, and it's very small in kind of in my memory and in my world now. And yet something in you still exists as part of this town. There's a lot of family, but they're in the cemeteries. Housing Commission, mostly 5-row houses you see here. This is the house I grew up in. The old man built the carport there when we were kids. We'll jump out and have a look. Wow. It hasn't changed much.
30 years ago, David fronted the man his mum had said was a 1% chance of being his dad.
I just drove straight out here sort of impulsively and found him. I don't know what I expected. And I just knocked on the door and said to him, this is the situation that I've heard. Do you think this could be the way things are? And he said, nah. You know, that he'd spent time with my mum, but that it wasn't. So there wasn't really much more to say. I mean, what do I say after that? Oh, are you sure? Do you want me to ask you again? I don't know what I expected. It was an impulsive move, as are too many moments in my life.
After decades of wondering, David's DNA test is about to provide a definite answer.
Everyone deserves to know their story and to know the truth of their story.
Angela Hamilton's quest to unlock her violent father's secrets has led her to the grounds of a Romanian jail with a fearsome reputation.
Oh my goodness, the scale of it.
Angela knows her father, Pal Roji, was imprisoned in 1939 as right-wing extremism took hold in Europe. On the 1st of September 1939, Nazi Germany invaded Poland, a ruthless move, plunging the world into another war. Inspired by their German allies, Hungarian nationalism escalated. Violence from Hungarian paramilitary groups increased. Faced with this growing insurgency, Romanian authorities hit back. Hundreds of Hungarians were arrested and charged with treason against the Romanian state. among them Pal Roji.
This prison was built at the end of the 19th century. It was the Bastille of Romania. It had a horrific reputation. Anyone who was anyone in the world of political dissidence was held here at some point. This is the Golden Book of Heroes and Martyrs of Transylvania. Now, if you flick through, there are details of a number of the heroes and martyrs.
And there's Roji Pal. So that's my father.
As a Hungarian hero.
Oh, wow.
The northern Transylvanian region was given to Romania in the aftermath of the First World War. A number of paramilitary organisations cropped up with the sworn aim, the restoration of Hungarian land.
Yeah.
There is evidence that your father was a member, effectively a Hungarian nationalist.
Right.
Would you like to read the translation of what this says?
Yes, do you have it?
We do.
Pal Roji was sent to the prison of the 6th Army Corps of Kolozsvár, where he is immediately subjected to torture by medieval implements. Beaten by fist, kicked, his bones are hit with a hoe stick. He is pulled on a rack. He is put in the stock. The bones of his wrists and fingers are crushed with iron pliers. The torture is repeated twice more. Finally, he and his 14 fellow prisoners are tried by a military court where he receives a sentence of 5 years hard labour. He is taken to the infamous Doftana prison, gets an appendicitis. He suffers from putrefying threadworm and intestinal sepsis. Help from his benevolent fellow prisoners save his life. Oh. We never knew.
So it was a place that was designed to crush people.
I can't believe it. It's horrible, isn't it?
It is, it's brutal.
I'm seeing him for the first time. Well, he's a victim here. He's a shocking victim. I've never had a moment, a second, of feeling sorry for my father in my life. This does it. How do you come through this with what they did to him? That's amazing. Did they break him and did he reinvent himself? So, yeah, I don't think I've shed too many tears for my father in my life. I've shed them for my mum and for us kids. But never for my father. But I do today.
As Pal Roji suffered in prison, the political landscape shifted once again, this time in his favour. Hungary, now strongly aligned with Nazi Germany, won back the highly contested northern Transylvania region from Romania. This deal also involved an exchange of political prisoners, including Pal Roji. In September 1940, Pal returned to his hometown of Sighetu Mamatsai, a hero. Pal's release coincided with increasing anti-Semitism in Hungary. While on paper, he was still married to Jewish woman Rózsa Grün, it appears their relationship was over.
From what we know, Roji was not on the scene. There's a Christmas photo with his parents and some family members, but no Roji. would seem not in his interest at all to be married to a Jew. I just wanted to come here, come to the Jewish cemetery in Sighet, and I wanted to find her grave. She died so young.
While the circumstances around Roger's death remain buried with her, Angela wants to honour her father's first wife. Local Jewish expert Penina Zilberman also has family in this cemetery.
Hello, shalom, Angela.
Thank you so much for being here.
Angela, in Judaism, when one visits a tombstone, we light a candle. And with your permission,
Thank you.
I brought one. And you can light and you can say whatever you wish, telling people that come to the cemetery to visit that somebody was here. It's lighted.
Doesn't give me any answers, but it makes her real, more than just historical facts.
Penina is aware of the plight of other Jews in the area.
Everybody knew each other in this city. There were only about 35,000 people altogether, 17,000 being Jews. Times are of restrictions, of prohibitions, coming directly from the Nazis or coming by the Hungarian armies here.
Yeah.
The locals were the ones who were implementing them.
Locals like Pal Roji.
Pal, being a lawyer, got a job about 100 kilometers from here, and there was a twist in his life that affected his whole total life, his family, and his personality.
Really?
Yes. And the name of the community is called Borsa, B-O-R-S-A.
With a huge sense of foreboding, actually, I want to go to a Borgia and find out what happened. That was so big that it would change him for sure.
For decades, actor David Field has lived with uncertainty, questioning who his father really was. Now, he's about to learn the answer.
It's nerve-wracking, but it's a good thing. You're all full and you're all empty at the same time, in expectation.
The science is in, and Brad Argent from Ancestry has brought David's DNA results.
Brad, this is a fine piece of machinery, isn't it?
So impressive. Built the same year as you.
61?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's why it's a fine piece of machinery, Brad.
My question to you is why now?
I'm 57, and I have two girls who are 14 and 16. And it's only fair that they know their story if their story isn't what it appears to be up to now.
You've taken a DNA test.
Yeah.
We also tested your brother, Stephen.
Yep.
Whether or not he's a brother or a half-brother,
Yeah.
he's still a brother.
Yes, of course.
DNA never takes anything away from you.
Yeah.
It just tells another part of the story of who you are.
Yeah, I like that.
Should we have a look?
Sure, mate. Let's open Pandora's box.
So what's really interesting about this is you're mostly British. The average Brit's only about 40%, and you're 82.
Wow.
Which is quite a lot. And you've got a good chunk of Ireland in there as well. Now, I want you to compare that with your brothers.
Right.
Stephen is mostly Western European, right? And his Irish is 41%.
Wow.
Right? So quite different.
Yes. Those percentages between my brother and I are really quite extremely different. It's quite amazing.
Yeah.
However, this is just part of the picture. The DNA test result also confirms the exact biological relationship between David and his brother.
So your brother Stephen is your half-brother.
Okay, all right, okay.
Do you want to go?
Yeah, I do.
Go on to the next.
This is wonderful.
So these are your results, and we've run these through the database. What that does is it looks at and compares your DNA with the 10 million other people in the database and looks to see how you're related to them.
Okay.
You'll see you've got it's a close family match.
You're saying that that's confirmation, that's family.
We can be as confident as we can be.
Yeah.
This person is a half-sister and you share the same biological father.
Wow. Okay. Wow. All right. Yeah, I know that person. From a long time ago.
As chance would have it, Mr. 1%'s daughter has been researching her family history and has shared her results on the database, giving David the answer to who his biological father is.
And it's been within arm's reach.
Yeah. Do they know this?
So we have reached out on your behalf. And your biological father is now an elderly man. Still alive, but you know, his health is deteriorating with age. And he's not interested in taking this any further.
That's cool, because I kind of feel the same way.
And his children, at this stage, they want to honour their father's wishes.
That's cool.
At no stage have we actually ever disclosed who you are.
Right.
So we don't know if they might change their mind on that.
Right.
They've got some processing to do.
Yeah.
Just like you.
Yeah.
Maybe once they get a sense of this is who you are,
Yeah.
their position might change.
Yeah. And I think that's the best way for it to be left. It's a sad, joyous piece of news.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I thank you for that.
It's been a pleasure, mate.
Thanks, mate.
Thanks, Stephen.
I'm reeling. And it's, I guess, a feeling like no other I've had to know the truth. I feel lifted, full of air. I kind of left my body for a moment. To find out that someone in my childhood who was such a dear friend is my half-brother, it's quite wonderful. So it's going to be interesting if down the track we meet up and chat about things. There's a yearning, there's a certain kind of internal pain about this. But a mark of your grace as a human being is how you carry whatever pains you, whether it be a secret, whether it be whatever. It's been a good process. I think the truth is rarely as painful as we think it's going to be. No regrets. For me, it is a fairy tale ending because I've discovered what I wanted to know. This is fine because this is the truth. And
It doesn't matter when the truth comes. As long as it comes, how wonderful that it has.
On the other side of the world, Angela Hamilton is about to uncover the secret which changed her father forever. She's heading to the small town of Borșa in far northern Romania, where her father, Pal Roșii, gained a position of power in November 1941. In the months prior, the Hungarian government deported thousands of foreign-born Jews, handing them to Nazi death squads, including 40 families from Borșa. Jewish expert Alina Marancian has discovered Pal Roșii oversaw the continued harassment and identity checks of Jews who remained in the area.
We found this little document which says my father was a Szolgabíró.
The Szolgabíró was the representative of the central government of Hungary, and they were invested with a lot of power and authority. There's a specific incident related to your father. Now, what happened here happened under the anti-Jewish laws that were active during the Second World War. Based on this law, they were asking for the foreign citizens of the area of Borșa to show their Hungarian citizenship.
Those responsible for the roundup acted outside the law, targeting local Jews who had legitimate Hungarian citizenship.
Regardless, they had or hadn't their citizenship. 34 Jews, elderly people, men, women, and children were forcibly marched into the woods. Now, if you look over there, that's the area where they were taken, up there on that mountain, and they were left there. It was snowy. The president of the Jewish community informed the Ministry of Internal Affairs, and an order came that they should immediately bring back the group of Jews. Your father's superior intentionally left the office, so he couldn't take responsibility, and this order came twice. Your father, he was supposed to follow the order, but he did not. And I'm gonna show you a testimony of a woman. She was 15 at that time.
Henny Hirsch has memories of the event.
So we're gonna do this.
So the first bad deed the Hungarians did is get together a bunch of Jews with their families. A lot of them had ancestors from Poland or Czechoslovakia because Jews were mixed from all over. They took maybe 30, 40 people, and they said to them, we're going to take you up to the border and we're going to send you back to Poland. One soldier came back and he just couldn't stomach it. All the Jews that the Hungarians put together and took them up were killed.
Abandoned in the snow, the freezing wilderness proved as lethal as any bullet.
Sorry, we have to talk about this.
No, it's a fact. I wanted to know this. I mean, I didn't know it was this, but I wanted to know.
The Romanian state held this tribunal after the war. Here's some testimonies about what happened.
When they arrived at the place where they were abandoned by the border guards, they were all exhausted and freezing. The Jews were left there, who died in the most horrific way from the cold, from exhaustion, and from hunger. And some of them were perhaps even killed by wild animals. The remains of the bodies of those who had perished were found on the heights of Mount Balasina.
Out of the 34 Jews, only 3 survived.
34 men, women, and children were marched up there and left in waist-deep snow. And he could have stopped that, and he chose not to.
Exactly. Your father and his superior were never charged, and they were never sentenced for their deeds during the Second World War.
I am so sorry. I am too. I'm really sorry.
This is the path that many, many Jews took. I've been told there's a memorial to all of those Jews who died. I feel so much for the lost souls here. They didn't have a chance. This was his secret that he took to his grave. For what my father did, I don't know how he could live with himself. He was the powerful despot in our family, and he was a powerful despot here. I believe he went back to Siget. He doesn't seem to suffer any setbacks. He goes on with impunity.
Pal Rogi may have thought he got away with mass murder, but all that changed after the war. The region of northern Transylvania was once again under Romanian rule, and Pal's role in the deaths of these 31 Jews came under scrutiny. In 1946, in the northern Romanian city of Cluj, war trials were held here at the Palace of Justice. Flying in from Israel, from the Simon Wiesenthal Centre, is Dr. Efrem Zurov, the world's leading Nazi hunter.
Hello.
Hi, Angela. Nice to meet you. Welcome to Cluj.
Thank you so much.
Your father was motivated by anti-Semitism, by hatred, by power. Conditions were created in which it was more normal for people to kill Jews and other enemies of the Reich than to save them.
Over the past 30 years, Dr. Zurov has helped prosecute nearly 40 Nazis. He has analysed the decision passed in absentia against Angela's father, Pal Rogi.
In the name of justice, the People's Court makes the following decision. The following accused were found guilty of committing war crimes leading to the degradation of the country. Dr. Pal Rogi from Maramureș, former Zorga Bureau, current residence unknown. He facilitated the deportation and extermination of Jews.
Your father was a war criminal. He murdered innocent people. But what you have to understand is that this verdict didn't only remain on paper. In other words, the Romanian government sought his extradition.
The Justice Minister of Romania has lodged an application for the extradition of Dr. Pal Rogi, residence unknown, who was sentenced to 12 years of hard labour by the People's Court of Cluj-Napoca.
So in other words, your father was on the run.
He was on the run.
He was on the run. He knew that they were looking for him. And his greatest fear, I think, was, of course, to be caught by the Romanians or by someone else who would turn him over to the Romanians and he'd be sent back here.
Right.
The best way to avoid that fate would be to get as far away as possible from Romania. But he wasn't alone. Thousands and thousands of people in similar situations who were running away to escape justice. This document relates to his application for recognition as a refugee. It's something that paved the way for his emigration to Australia.
In June 1949, he had to flee the country because he didn't want to join Communist Party. If he didn't flee, he would be arrested and put in concentration camps. Taking in view his documents and interview, I am of the opinion that he is a Hungarian national. story acceptable, could be established. Opinion, political refugee. He knew to come up with a story and he just needed to sell that story.
Right, but everyone was selling the same story. We're running away because we're against communists, which was true. That part certainly was true.
True, yeah.
But only part of the truth.
A report on application for naturalisation or registration as an Australian citizen. It's a Commonwealth of Australia document. Question number 12. Have any convictions been recorded against applicant? And the answer is no, that he has put here.
Of course not, because otherwise he wouldn't have been granted citizenship.
Is the applicant otherwise of good character? Yes.
He knew how to answer the questions. That's clear, as they all did.
ASIO has no objection to the application.
Welcome to Australia.
Yeah.
Listen, I admire your courage.
Thank you so much.
Maybe it'll give you some closure. And you did the right thing now to come here and to search for the truth.
And I am so sorry.
You're in no way, shape, or form guilty of anything.
It's no longer a secret that he thought he took to his grave.
Yeah.
In the Palace of Justice, there was no qualifying of those words. They were shocking words. He was a war criminal. And my heart cried. I thought I had detached myself from my father as a child. I thought there was nothing that could hurt me. But it has, and it did.
With his paperwork now processed, Palrogi departed Europe in mid-1950, bound for Fremantle, Western Australia, keeping his real name and seemingly unconcerned about possible extradition. He was among 170,000 displaced persons accepted into Australia between 1947 and 1953, including 17,000 Jews, most of whom were Holocaust survivors. Palrogi thought he was free, unaware the notorious Romanian secret police had him in its sights.
Dr. Zurov gave me this envelope at the end of our talk, so I almost trembled to think what might be inside.
Angela Hamilton has learned her Hungarian father, Palrogi, was a war criminal. Sentenced in 1946 to 12 years jail after being found directly responsible for the deaths of 31 Jewish people. Pal fled to Australia in 1950. Now, for the first time, Angela has access to a Romanian secret police file on her father.
This is Romanian People's Republic, Ministry of Internal Affairs, General Directorate of State Security, Fugitive Rogi Pal, number 2923. Oh, gee. From the investigations that were conducted, the fugitive is unreliable, an adventurer and a womanizer. And from 1951 to the present, he is in the town of Subiaco at the above-mentioned address, from where he continues to be in touch with his parents in Siget. He is currently married once again, this time to a woman from England, with whom he has children. Oh, God. We were all being watched as a family. The fugitive will be registered and his activity will be placed under surveillance in the country traitor file. A traitor in every respect. A war criminal, a fugitive, and a traitor.
welcome.
Tiny.
Oh, how lovely to see you.
How lovely to see you.
Have a pew.
Thank you so much.
So, was there more than you thought?
Yeah, much more. To read guilty of committing war crimes. When I read that, that's all I read. That was sort of like such a shock.
Beacon,
And,
yeah.
and it just reverberated in my head as I read the rest of it.
I can't imagine what that feels like. Can't imagine.
I will continue to feel great shame for what he did to the Jewish people, but I honour them with all of my heart. And that is so what my father wouldn't have wanted.
Do you regret the journey? Do you regret going on this journey?
No, it's been the greatest privilege of my life. He thought he got away with it, and he didn't. And I'm even half smiling over that. I feel triumphant. This man has gone to his grave, and we know the truth.